something incredible just happened in the Catholic Church. Something that has never happened before in over 2,000 years of history. For the first time ever, an American has become Pope. His name was Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, but now the world knows him by a powerful new title, Pope Leo the XIV. Yes, that's right. A man born in the United States in the city of Chicago has been chosen to lead over 1.3 billion Catholics around the globe. This news has sent shockwaves through religious communities, governments, and millions of people who never imagined they'd see an American wearing the white robe of the Pope. Let's dive into the full story behind this historic event, who Robert Prevost really is, what he believes in, and what kind of future the Catholic Church may be stepping into with him as the leader. Robert Francis Prevost was born on September 14, 1955, in Chicago, Illinois. From a young age, he was known to be thoughtful, spiritual, and deeply compassionate. He didn't seek fame or power. Instead, he wanted to serve. After becoming part of the Order of Saint Augustine, he was ordained as a priest in 1982. But instead of staying in the U.S., he followed a calling to go serve as a missionary in Peru, South America. That's where his story really began to take shape. In Peru, he worked directly with poor communities, taught in seminaries, and helped build up local churches. People loved him for being humble, honest, and always putting others first. In fact, Peru grew to love him so much that he even became a Peruvian citizen. He wasn't just visiting, he became one of them. Years later, his hard work and dedication caught the eye of leaders in the Catholic Church. He moved up the ranks step by step. In 2023, Pope Francis, who had been leading the Church since 2013, chose Robert Prevost to take on one of the most important jobs in the Vatican, prefect of the dicastery for bishops. In simple terms, that means he was responsible for helping choose new bishops and making major decisions about leadership in the Church. It was a job with a lot of power and responsibility, and he was trusted with it because of his honesty, calm spirit, and balanced views. That role placed him right in the middle of the Church's most important conversations, and a major event shook the Catholic world. Pope Francis had stepped down due to health reasons, and a new leader had to be chosen. In the grand and secretive process called the conclave, more than 100 cardinals from around the world gathered inside the Vatican. They prayed, debated, and voted to decide who would be the next pope. It took only 4 rounds of voting for the decision to be made, faster than usual, which shows just how much agreement there was. The moment white smoke rose from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, everyone knew a new pope had been chosen. When the announcement came from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, thousands of people stood in silence, waiting to hear the name. The cardinal stepped forward and said, "Habemus Papam," Latin for, "We have a pope." Then came the name, Robert Prevost, who would take the name Leo XIV. Cheers erupted. People were stunned. Reporters scrambled to confirm what they were hearing. Yes, it was real. An American had been chosen as the pope. In his first speech as pope, Leo XIV spoke with warmth and humility. He thanked God, he honored the work of Pope Francis, and he said his mission was to be a pope for everyone, not just for the powerful, not just for certain countries, but for all people. He spoke in Italian, English, and Spanish, recognizing his global background and connection to both North and South America. The message was clear. This would be a papacy focused on unity, peace, and compassion. The world reacted quickly. U.S. President Donald Trump posted a message of congratulations, calling the moment a great honor for America. Religious leaders from Europe, Africa, Asia, and Latin America also welcomed the new pope, many praising his long record of service and his calm leadership style. People around the world began searching for who this man really was and what he might do as leader of the world's largest Christian church. So what kind of pope will Leo XIV be? Based on his past, it's clear that he shares a lot in common with Pope Francis. He believes in helping the poor, protecting the environment, standing up for human rights, and opening doors to those who feel left out by religion. He's not flashy or political. He's a thinker, a pastor, and a servant. He believes the church must be close to the people and not shut away in luxury. He's also cautious on controversial topics. For example, while he supports kindness toward the LGBTQ community, he has not openly support. There have been some difficult moments in his past, too. Critics have raised questions about how he handled certain abuse cases in Peru, but official investigations say he cooperated fully and even took action against accused priests. The church in Peru stood behind him, calling him a man of integrity. His supporters say he is not afraid to face tough issues and doesn't cover things up. That's why many cardinals trusted him with the most powerful religious position in the world. Taking the name Leo the 14th also has deep meaning. He is connecting himself to Pope Leo the 13th, who led the church in the late 1800s and was famous for defending workers' rights and pushing for social justice. By choosing the same name, Pope Leo the 14th is telling the world that he wants to lead with the same focus on fairness, dignity, and care for the vulnerable. He wants to be remembered as a pope who lifted people up, not one who divided them. Already, his new role is making history. As the 267th pope, he now leads over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. He lives inside the Vatican, but his decisions affect people on every continent. What makes this moment even more powerful is the fact that for centuries, the idea of an American pope seemed impossible. People feared that if a U.S. citizen became pope, it might look like America was trying to dominate the church. But Leo XIV has shown that he's not here to represent a nation. He's here to represent God's people everywhere. What's next for Pope Leo XIV? He's expected to deliver a special Sunday blessing soon that will be broadcast all around the world. There are also rumors that he may visit Turkey later in May to meet with leaders from other religions, showing his interest in dialogue and peace. Inside the Vatican, he'll be making big decisions about who becomes bishops, how to continue reforms, and how to help the church adapt to modern times without losing its core beliefs. To millions of Catholics, and even to people outside the church, his election feels like a moment of fresh hope. In a world full of division and fear, Pope Leo XIV is stepping into the spotlight with a message of unity, mercy, and love. His papacy may just be the bridge between the old and the new, between tradition and change. The world will be watching, listening, and hoping. And so, from a humble neighborhood in Chicago to the grand halls of the Vatican, Robert Prevost has made history. He's not just the first American pope. He's a symbol that anyone, from anywhere, can make a difference when they lead with heart, faith, and courage. The journey of Pope Leo XIV has just begun, and the story of his leadership is only getting started.